All right. Good evening, everyone. Let us begin with today's session of NPAT exam analysis. Now, as everyone knows, today was the first attempt of NPAT, and I hope that all of you who've taken the test are feeling good about it. And those who are yet to take the test, I hope you're feeling confident and that this video helps you. Right. So, I will begin with an overall understanding of the format of the exam and the interface, because there have been quite a few changes this year in terms of the interface and the process of the exam, because it was all online, right? So let us start with this. Right. So NPAT slot 1, we're talking about the 3:30 to 5:30 slot of today. Let's first talk about how the interface had changed, right? So obviously there were a lot of changes because this was the first online exam that we had, and this was to be taken remotely, so there may have been a few technical glitches, but nothing too major that should have been a problem. Another major change that has taken place this year is that, unlike what happens every year, this year students were not allowed to switch between sections. Also, the order of the sections was not something that you could choose as you desire. The order was fixed. So a student had to first start with the verbal ability section, then move on to the reasoning section, and then move on to the QA section, quantitative ability section. And there was no option of going back. You had to submit the first section before you could move on to the second section, right? And you have to register 2 hours before you launch the test. Okay, fine. Everything else remained the same, meaning there was no sectional time limit, so you can decide how much time you want to spend on which section. And the marking scheme also remained the same, which is +1 for every correct answer, and no negative marking for any incorrect answer. So this is the overall feel of the test and what had changed, right? So since verbal ability was the first section this year, let us begin with an analysis of the same section, right? Okay, see, one more thing before I go on to verbal ability. Uh, See, this is the same as last year. The number of questions is the same, okay, and the total time is the same. The total marks are the same. This column indicates the ideal time that you should have spent on that particular section. So on the English language section, you could have spent something about a 25 to 30 minutes. On the reasoning section, you could have spent about 40 minutes, and on the QA section, something about a 30 to 35. Fine. So this is a detailed understanding of the verbal ability section or the English language section, right? So this is what made up this is the question distribution of the 40 questions of this section. The format has not changed, okay? We still have almost the same question distribution as we've had over the past couple of years. So the major chunk of questions went to RC and grammar, 15 questions for RC and 15 questions for grammar. Okay, let's start with an understanding of RCs first. Now, RCs, as just like every year, we had 3 RCs, okay, with 5 questions each. That gives us a total of 15 questions. And every passage was approximately 300 to 400 words, okay. The shortest one being approximately 300 words, and the most lengthy one being about 400 words. And the difficulty level of RCs can be considered moderate. It wasn't very easy, it wasn't too difficult, it was a mix of some tricky question types and some easy ones, right? Mainly, all your questions are based on inferences, most questions, right? Which is what made it a little complicated, right? So let's understand what kind of RCs we have. So NPAT often has RCs based on very diverse topics. So that is what we saw this year also. So the first passage was about sustainability in the fashion industry, okay, and the questions you had were something like what can be the source of the passage, and then your options would be something like could it be a journal, or could it be an editorial, or could it be from someone's speech, right? Then you had 2 or 3 questions across the 3 passages. You had a total of 2 or 3 questions including this one where you had to look for which of the following is correct except. Now these questions tend to be time consuming. So RCs were time consuming because of the question type. Okay, so that is one thing. Then you were given a word from the passage of which you had to identify the meaning. So from the given context, what does based on the given context, what does this word mean? Okay, that is something that we saw twice in the in this test, right? Now other questions were all inference based. The second passage was again a little lengthier and a little more difficult. The second passage was about astrology. Now, this was more of an abstract passage, and the questions were also slightly difficult. So, you had a question based on the tone of the author. Is the author skeptical, or what is the attitude of the author towards the topic? That is one question of this passage. Then you were asked to identify. So, this was a slightly different question type. So, you are given one statement in the question, and then you were asked to identify which of the statements from the passage can justify the statement that you're given in the question. So this was like a reverse inference question, right? So you're given four sentences from the passage. You have to identify which sentence can justify this statement which you see in the question, right? So that was a slightly different question type that we saw this year, right? So astrology passage was more difficult because the questions were also very tricky. And then the third passage was about, how what is cashless economy, and that we are already a cashless economy. But this was an interesting passage because the whole passage was in the narrative form, right? So passage was easy to read, but you had a lot of inference based questions. So a sentence from the passage is given, and you're asked about what does the author imply, what does the author mean by this sentence, right? That was one question type which was very common. So I think about 3 to 4 questions were such out of the 15 questions of RC. Okay, overall we can say that out of the 15 questions, about 10 to 12 questions of RC were doable. At least 10 questions were doable, right? And the rest of the three difficult questions were mainly from the astrology passage, right? That is why we can say that the RC section was a moderate one, right? What should you expect if you've not yet taken the test? Expect a lot of inference based questions. Okay, that is something you should be prepared with. And also main idea related questions like tone, title, profession of the author, and source, right? Then let's talk about grammar. So grammar was divided into two sub question types like every year. So there were 10 fill in the blanks questions, and the fill in the blanks questions mainly had questions based on tenses, prepositions, and conjunctions. So we had about 4 to 5 questions based on tenses, and 2 questions based on prepositions and conjunctions each. Then you had some articles or pronouns, easy ones. Okay. So fill in the blanks were fairly easy, smaller sentences, not very close options. Okay. And the other question type of grammar was spotting the error. 5 questions where you have one sentence divided into 3 or 4 parts, and you have to identify which part contains the error, right? So that was again easy to moderate. The same kinds of concepts were tested. An aspirant should, a test taker should definitely be prepared thoroughly with tenses and prepositions, because that is something that was commonly tested, right? Verbs, tenses, prepositions. Right. So that's the next chunk. Coming to the next question type, which is parajumbles or sentence rearrangement. So there were 5 parajumbles where you had, in all 5 questions, you had 5 sentences to be rearranged. Okay, these were slightly tricky because not in every question would the student be able to identify the opening or the closing sentence. It looked as if the paragraph was taken slightly abruptly from places. But yes, using options also students are able to arrive at the answer. So they were not very difficult, but slightly time consuming. So what I would say is that the time that you take in this section is mainly going to RC and parajumbles, right? Grammar was something that was doable very easily and very quickly. Similarly, you had some vocabulary based questions. 5 total questions where an idiom, phrase, or a word is highlighted in a sentence, and you had to identify the meaning. Again, these were commonly used, almost all of them except for one or two were easy, right? So, overall, we can say that the section was of moderate difficulty level. Okay, there were no surprises. Yes, the RCs were a little time consuming. Yes, parajumbas were more time consuming. But other than that, there were no surprises. This is something that is standard to NPAT verbal section. Okay. So overall, spending about a 25 to 30 minutes on this section would be ideal. Okay. And it was easy to attempt around 34 questions with at least 29 correct. Okay, because your accuracy in this section would be pretty high because the questions were not extremely tricky, right? So yes, RCs and grammar took up the major chunk. So that is something that you should be thoroughly prepared with. All right, and work on your probably a student would want to work on his or her speed for solving parajumbles. So yes, that is the analysis of the verbal section. I hope that helps. All right. We can now look at the rest of the two sections, which is reasoning and quantitative ability.
Hello everyone. So let's move ahead and let's see the reasoning section in detail. Uh, Nothing new, nothing different. So this was online with, and it was expected that the reasoning section would be similar to what it was in last so many years. Okay, there were two DI sets were there, which 10 questions in total. So one was on tables, and then another was mixed graph. So again, mixed graph was divided into two parts. There was one set of 3 questions and another set of 2 questions. Little bit time consuming, but if students are good with calculation, if students are good with numbers, should not be difficult to crack the DI sets. Then coming to analytical reasoning section, okay, in the reasoning, there were question based on arrangement and puzzles. There were 3 questions. All of them were easy. 5 decision-making questions, very straightforward. I mean, this was something that everyone should have attempted it. There was one blood relation and one chain relation question. Surprisingly, there was no directions and question this time in NPAT paper. NPAT paper. So that was something. And the weightage of arrangement and puzzle was also little less as compared to the previous year. Then there were questions based on visual reasoning. There were 3 questions on visual reasoning which were very straightforward. Of someone who has enough practice of visual reasoning should not be finding it difficult, because these questions were very straightforward and not very different or difficult. Students who have practiced around 50, 80 odd questions should have easily attempted this question. Then there were questions based on arithmetic reasoning and mathematical reasoning based on numbers, number series, and something based on numbers. So there were around 7 questions, 3 questions on arithmetic reasoning and 4 questions on mathematical reasoning. And there were around 2 questions which were data, 2 to 3 questions which were on data sufficiency, and around 8 to 9 odd questions which are on verbal reasoning, that is syllogisms, course of actions. In fact, syllogism was missing this time. Okay, so the question was based on course of action, statement conclusion, statement assumption, and complete the sequence. So this was the major area in which the reasoning section was mainly focused on. Now, uh, for all those who are going to appear on 27 and 28, this section will be very crucial. Scoring as many marks as possible in the limited time would be very, very crucial. I mean, probably you should give. This is the second section that will come to you, okay, and then the third section will be con. So when this is the second section, and you know that the con section is going to be the third section, you should rather attempt this question, attempt this section, probably with 85 to 90, 95% accuracy. Try to attempt each and every question. Maybe spend around 40 minutes, 40 minutes odd time, and try to attempt around 35 to 38 genuine attempt. Okay, 35 to 38 genuine attempts are very much possible. That is what we have got to know from our students. Students attempted 35, 37, 38 questions genuinely. Okay, and they spend around 40 odd minutes. So that is fairly possible. Now, what you should focus on, maybe focus on something on visual reasoning that if you are not very confident, maybe practice visual reasoning so that these three questions are in your pocket. Practice your calculation, okay, because there are 10 questions on data interpretation. Practice your calculation so that your calculation speed improves, and hence maybe you will take lesser at time. Okay. Apart from this, I don't think, if you're preparing from last 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, a month back, okay, I don't think you need to worry much about this section. This section is pretty much normal. It was pretty much on the lines of our mock that we have designed for our students, so nothing to worry about it. Okay. Now coming to the third section, which was the quant section. Now, this section was something where student found it difficult. Okay, student found it lengthy, but having said that, when we spoke to students and when we collected the questions that student had remembered, okay, so based on that information, we figured out that there were at least around 19, 20, 21 questions which were manageable, which were doable. So all those who are going to give the attempt tomorrow and day after, focus on this question. So number formula based question, there was straightforward questions on AQ plus BQ plus CQ. I did use the identity. Okay, then there was board mass question. So though there was, you will take time, but then these three questions were doable, was definitely manageable. Okay, probably these three questions could have been correct in 5 odd minutes, not more than 5 minutes for these three questions. The questions on probability, student told us, the questions were easy, were straightforward. So these two questions was very easy. So again, these 5 questions were easy. Question based on progression, this was little tricky, except one question. One question was, maybe moderate. Other questions, student found it little lengthy rather than tricky. I would use the word lengthy. They found this questions lengthy. Then question based on functions. Okay, there was a question where you have to find a composite function, and for the composite function you have to find the inverse of that function. So that was little again lengthy. Okay, not very straightforward. Again, lengthy questions were there. Student found trigonometry to be very difficult. Some of the questions were very lengthy and they were very big also. So they were lengthy. Set theory is again one area where there were 3 to 4 questions which were tested, which were very easy. One question was a bit lengthy, but then again was doable. It was not that student couldn't crack it. It was doable. Okay, so this was fairly possible. Then coming to mensuration, the question based on flow of the water, the rate was given, and this was little time consuming, and you need to take velocity into consideration. A board mass question was straightforward. No need to worry about board mass question. This was very straightforward. Okay. Then the question based on percentages. Okay, they were mixed. Percentages was mixed with ratios and everything. Not a very direct question, which NPAT is known for. This time it was a little lengthy question. The question based on percentages, profit and loss, they were lengthy. Okay, installment question, if you know the concept, was straightforward, you could have been corrected. But if you don't know it, probably you could leave, you don't even try attempting it. Don't even try attempting it. The ratio proportion question was manageable. There was one ratio proportion question manageable. The statistics question, there were 4 questions on statistics. There was straightforward question of multiplying by one number and dividing by number, then find value of k. Okay, so there were some very straightforward questions on statistics. So in a nutshell, focus on questions on numbers, probability, then maybe set theory, question based on board mass, and question based on statistics. So if you add these questions, there were 3 questions on number which is easy, 2 from probability which were doable. Okay, around 3 to 4 questions, let's say 3, so that adds up to 8. Then 2 questions, let's say 2 to 3 questions, 8 plus 3, that adds up to 11 board mass question. Then probably 4 questions of statistics. There were 15 odd questions which were fairly manageable. Okay, a student could have fairly managed this 15 question if you have been, practice enough mock, and if you have solved the actual paper of NPAT, sample paper of NPAT that NPAT has given. This question was 15 questions was fairly manageable. Okay, having said this, was this 15 question enough? So no. This 15 question probably you would have attempted in around, let's say, 20-25 minutes, not more than 20-25 odd minutes. Okay, and so you would have, you see, around 25 minutes was given to verbal, 25 to 30 minutes, close to around 40 minutes for reasoning, which means you're still left with around 30 to 35 minutes for quant. Even if you're left with 30 minutes and you have spent around 25 odd minutes, you have still 5 minutes, probably you could attempt 2 more questions. Okay, and probably, let's say you have 35 minutes, then probably in 10 minutes, probably you will attempt more 4 to 5 questions. So which means an attempt of around 19 to 20 should we consider a good attempt in 35 minutes? Okay, so that is what I would recommend. That is what we would recommend, and focus on the area, focus on the topic that we have discussed. Because NPAT is known for giving a standard paper. Okay, standard paper means the question will not be repeated. You will have similar kind of question. Okay, but then having said this, don't get surprised if you have a very different paper. Be mentally prepared that you might have something different. Be mentally prepared. Okay. Okay. Now let's look at the overall analysis. The good score in verbal some will be somewhere around, anything you score in the range of 29 plus, maybe in the 30s would be a better score. Somewhere 31, 32, 33 would be a good score. Okay, a superb score. A reasoning ability, anything more than 28 would be considered as good score again. Something in early 30s, 30 to 33 marks, 30 to 33 marks would be considered as, I mean, that's possible, provided you attempt 35, 37 question and have an accuracy of 90%. That mark is anytime possible, right? And in quant, we would say anything, a good score of 18 plus. I mean, now you would wonder, I mean, when I've said that 1920 is a good attempt, how are you expecting a good score of 18 plus? Because you are forgetting that there were 20 questions which you didn't attempt. Okay, and even if you apply a law of probability, let's say you apply all the options same, let's say you mark all option as B, or let's say you mark all option as C. In out of 20 questions, you get, let's say, 5 correct. 4 options are there. Law of probability say 5 correct. Okay, so I mean, out of 20 you attempt, let's say you attempted 18, and let's say you get around 13, 14 correct, and then 5, the bluffs also get correct. So 18 plus score, 18 plus is fairly possible in quant. Okay, and if you add this up, 29 plus 28 and 18, okay, that would add up to 75. Okay, and good score, anything in the range of 72 would be good score. Okay, 72 would be a good score for someone aiming at getting into NMIMS BBA. Okay, but if someone who is aiming to get into NMIMS Mumbai campus BSc Finance, BSc Economics, a score of 80, 78 plus would be considered to be a good score for BSc Finance or BSc Economics, because that would be a cutoff for BSc Economics, BSc Finance. For NMIMS Mumbai campus, BBA campus, the cutoff would be around 69 to 71 marks. And for NMIMS Bangalore campus, it would be again 2 marks lesser than what it is for Mumbai campus. So this is what we have for today's slot. Let's hope that for the next 2 days the paper pattern is not much different. If it is different, we would again come up with some other strategy. Till then, thank you very much.